If you want to change your life, you got to change what you're focusing on. Tony Robbins famously said, "Where your attention goes, your energy flows." And that statement could not be more true. See, what Tony was getting at is the fact that the things that we focus on, we breathe life into. Think about our physical bodies. As we feed our physical bodies with substance, with food, what happens? We grow. We get bigger physically, we develop. Well, it's the same thing in the mental part of life. Where we focus our energy, we breathe life into those things. The problem is that most people are focusing their attention, they're breathing life into things they don't actually want. I'll tell you how this showed up in my personal life. Several years ago, I decided that I wanted to get my motorcycle license. And as you can imagine, part of the training is you've got to learn to turn a motorcycle. And now me, I had never been on a motorcycle or a dirt bike or anything like that. I'd never been on anything besides a bicycle. So obviously there was a certain level of fear that already came along with this process. And I remember the instructor telling us, as you're going into the turn, in order to get the bike to lean and to go around the turn effectively to get to the desired destination, you have to focus on the end point, meaning that you've got to look far ahead of where you are in an uncomfortable way in order to get that bike to do exactly what it's supposed to do. Now you can imagine most people who have never been in this sort of situation before, where do they focus? See, they actually focus in the place that they don't want to go. And for me, in this particular instance, it was a wall of cones that outlined the outer edges of the course. I knew if I went and I hit those cones that it was going to demonstrate the fact that I could not effectively turn this motorcycle. So the first several times that I take off, I'm coming into this turn, and where am I focused? I'm focused on the cones. I'm focused on where I don't want to go, and I'm breathing life into that destination. And you can imagine exactly where I went. The first several times, I go straight through this wall of cones, just proving to myself that I cannot effectively turn this motorcycle. And in life, that's the thought process that we fall into so many times. Because we continue to focus on the things, on the destinations that we don't want to be at, and we continue to arrive there, we start to believe that that's where we're meant to believe and that we are incapable of actually getting to where we want to go. So we make the process so much harder than it needs to be, not understanding that the only thing that needs to change is our focus. If we change our focus, we start breathing life into and giving energy into that which we desire, the destinations that we desire to be at. For me, it was learning to shift my focus, to turn my head to the end of the turn, where I wanted the motorcycle to go. And as soon as I did that, seamlessly, I glided around the turn. And every time I got more and more comfortable looking at that destination, and I got better and better at arriving exactly where I wanted to go. In your life, if you're not where you want to be, it's because you're focusing on the wrong destinations. You're focusing on the wrong things. If you're not achieving the result, it's because you're focusing on the things that are going to prevent you from achieving the result. Shift your focus and you will change your life. I am so thankful to have you here on this journey with me as I continue my mission of educating, equipping, and empowering people to live their own uncommon lives. If you would please do me this favor of liking this video and subscribing to this channel so that I can continue to reach more people and we can have people going out and living their best lives.